What's up, everybody? It's Carl's Collects Comics, and I'm back with another top 10 list. This week, I'm going to be talking about the top 10 Incredible Hulk comics that I think you should consider adding to your comic collection. So stay tuned. Hey, so here we are, and I am back with another top 10 list. This time, it's the top 10 Incredible Hulk comics that I think you should consider adding to your comic collection. So let's go ahead and get this started. Number 10 on my list is The Incredible Hulk number 393 from Volume 1. So this is the 30th anniversary issue, and it's a cover homage of the original Incredible Hulk number 1. In this issue, we see the origin of the Hulk retold, and it's a cool homage cover, so how can you go wrong with that? I'm setting the Target collector's price for this book to be $8 for a very high-grade raw copy. It had a massive print run, but it's still a very popular book to have in the collection, and it's iconic and recognizable. So just a fun book to pick up. Number 9 on my list is What If, number 50 from Volume 2. So this is the reverse of the original What If from Volume number 1. So this tells an alternative storyline in which the Hulk kills Wolverine during their initial climactic battle. So the What If titles, especially the first 2 volumes, are really great books because every issue is a different story, and they do such a great job of condensing large storylines into an easily readable copy that can be enjoyed in one sitting. Alright, lots of excellent stories in the mix, and this is one of them. So I'm setting the Target collector's price for this comic to be about $12 for a very high-grade raw copy. Now you'll see quite a few of these, that are going for more than that, but I want to encourage you to hold steady on this one. Due to it being a 90s title with that fantastic foil, it had a large print run, so these books are not scarce. Look for a bargain on this one, especially if you can buy a large lot of issues, including this one. I see all over the place stacks of What If comics being sold as a lot, whether it's on eBay or other places. So that is a great way to pick up some excellent reading material and fun key books like this one when you buy them in bulk like that. So consider doing that as one strategy. Number 8 on my list is Incredible Hulk number 376 from Volume 1. So this is one of my random fun picks with a tiny nugget of spec buried within. Incredible Hulk number 376 features a battle between the Greenskin Hulk and the Grayskin Hulk, written by Peter David and drawn by Dale Cohn of Pit fame. It's a fun book, but here's the smaller fun part. It features the first appearance of Agamemnon, the son of Loki and a mortal woman. Now, is he ever going to show up in the MCU? Probably not. But how fun would it be to have this book if he did? And at next to nothing, could it be worth it? Now, for Hulk collectors, this is a fun book with a great cover. I'm setting the Target collector's price at $12 for a very high-grade, pristine, raw copy. Now, it needs to be pristine to justify paying this amount. It's a 90s book, relatively large print run, and it's also quite plentiful on eBay, so just make sure you get a killer deal on this one. And the other ones that I've mentioned also, it's the same thing. If it sounds like it's a little bit high, it's because you need to get a premium, pristine, beautiful copy, flawless in every way. A 9.8 contender for sure, raw. And look, the media-driven spec streak has all but ended. So please don't purchase this book based purely on the idea that it could do something financially. However, if you're even a marginal fan of the character, this is definitely a fun book to add to the collection. Number 7 on my list is The Incredible Hulk Annual number 2 from Volume 1. So this is a much lesser known book, and many may not know about the significance, but this is another retelling of the origin of the Hulk. Now, it's a fairly easy to come by comic, but it could prove to be a really nice addition to the personal collection for a new Hulk fan. I would put the target collector's price for this book at no more than $50 for a high-grade raw copy. It's plentiful, but not as much as other books on this list. Now, while you can pay more and get a graded copy, I think a nice, clean, raw copy should be more than sufficient, especially for a fun personal collection book like this one. Just try to get the best possible grade that you can for your money. Number 6 on my list is What If, featuring Planet Hulk #1. This What If story is recognized as the first appearance of Scar, the son of Hulk. It's a standalone story, like all What Ifs, and it's set in an alternate reality that spins out of the Planet Hulk event. The idea of the Hulk with a son is kind of cool, and if you watch the She-Hulk series on Disney Plus, you got a glimpse of the MCU version of Scar, which was fairly awful. The idea of an heir to the Hulk is cool and still has room for exploration, so if you're a Hulk fan, it stands to reason that you might want to consider adding this book to your collection. There's plenty of copies of this book out there for sale, and the story material has been collected a few times already. It's an iconic storyline, and this definitely is a character to consider snagging. He probably won't see great value increases, but he is an heir to a legacy Marvel character, so if you're a Hulk fan, it's a book worth adding to the collection. Now, I'm seeing raw copies listed for anywhere from $30 to $80, but I'm setting my target collector's price for $65 for a high-grade raw copy. Now, you shouldn't have a hard time finding a copy for that price. However, it needs to be from the right dealer at the right time. I don't see massive price jumps happening with this book, so it should hold fairly steady. It could dip with time, but it seems fairly stable as of the recording of this video. Number 5 on my list of the top 10 Incredible Hulk comics you should consider adding to your collection is World War Hulk #1. That's right, the iconic storyline just keeps popping up, and I really believe it's because this is the culmination of one of the 3 modern storylines that just really captures the character of the Hulk. He's a tragic monster, a mythological Frankenstein, an amazing man unfortunately trapped in a monster, and he's a danger to those around him, especially when he's been wronged. In this issue, the Hulk returns from his exile, seeking justice for the death of his pregnant wife, and he proceeds to defeat Marvel hero after hero until he's finally taken out by Stark weaponry. Now, there's many variants for this issue, but I always tend to stick with first print cover A's, so that's the primary one that I'll be focusing on. At this price point, I suggest getting the full 5-issue miniseries, and so I'm putting my target collector's price at $60 for the entire run in near mint condition. Now, keep in mind, there is a Michael Turner variant, which looks fantastic, I think. There is a John Romita Jr. variant, which, I'm not personally a fan, but some people are. And so if you're a big variant ratio collector, there's definitely plenty to choose from out there. But for me, I tend to stick to the first print cover A's, and that should suffice for your personal collection. Number 4 on my list is The Incredible Hulk #141. From Volume 1. So this is a personal favorite of mine, and I consider this to be one of my stackable characters on the Marvel side. This book is the first appearance of Doc Samson, a personal yet again, like I've said, a personal favorite of mine. I really grew to appreciate this character during the Return of the Monster storyline by Bruce Jones, which is a more modern book, but I still think it's one of the best, and I still think that is one of the best Hulk storylines of all time. Doc Samson just has such a cool look to him with the long green hair and the red and blue costume, and knowing that his strength, he can at different points go toe-to-toe with the Hulk, but it's matched with a very solid intellect, and just seeing him pop up in other fun places in the Marvel comic book universe. I just really like the character. I think he's a lot of fun. Now there's so much that could be done with him in the future, and I just think that he's a great character to add to your first appearance stable. Number 3 on my list of the top 10 Incredible Hulk comics worth adding to your collection is King Size Incredible Hulk Annual number 1. So the first annual for this title, this cover is almost as iconic as Incredible Hulk number 1, and it definitely deserves to be recognized. Jim Steranko created this iconic imagery and also handled art duties for the interiors. This story features the Inhumans Black Bolt, Maximus, and Lockjaw, but is most memorable for the iconic cover. Given its truly noteworthy nature, this book is actually very affordable. Recent offerings on eBay range from a CGC 5.5 for $279 to a CGC 7.0 for just under $400. It's much more available than I would have guessed, so I'm actually going to put the Target collector's price at $200 for a nice mid-grade raw copy, like a 6.0 to a 7.0. Make sure it's complete, that it presents well, that it has good binding, and that there's no restoration. Always make sure to do business with a trusted dealer, and make sure to always ask questions. If you're wanting a graded copy, I wouldn't go higher than $400 for a CGC 7.5 to 8.0 graded copy. Now, this is definitely below fair market value for this book, but I think it is a buyer's market right now, so I would definitely hold out for the right deal. This is another one of those books that, while it's recognizable and iconic, I don't think you're going to see the price go up on this one. So it's a little bit softer, and this is definitely one of those ones where you want to have your money ready and you want to shop around for the best possible deal. This might be a great convention buy to consider. Number 2 on my list is Incredible Hulk number 4 from Volume 1. So this is from the first 6 issues of the title before it switched over to Tales to Astonish. This is the most expensive book on this list, clocking in with recent $12,000 sale for a CGC 9.2. Now, I do believe that you can get it much cheaper. This book reprints the origin of the Incredible Hulk and is much more affordable than Incredible Hulk number 1, but it's still a respectable book to add to a collection for a true Incredible Hulk fan. With Incredible Hulk number 1 not showing any signs of going down in price, we've seen some of the other Marvel Silver Age first issues dip in price. Strangely, Incredible Hulk number 1 has not. So this could fill that spot in your personal collection. Now, this book has seen some growth, so a low to mid-grade copy will put you back around $400 to $600, depending on the venue, the dealer, and the mode of purchase. Now, I'm setting my Target collector's price at $500 for a 6.0 to 7.0 graded copy. Now, this is a cash deal maybe at a convention or a local comic shop, and yes, this may sound very low for this particular book. However, like other books on this list, it's not in high demand right now. There's a lot, there are copies available, and if you wait for the right deal, coming from the right dealer in the right venue, and you've got your cash ready, I do believe that you can get a really good price on this book. Number 1 on my list of the top 10 Incredible Hulk books to add to your collection is Incredible Hulk number 102 from Volume 1. So this is the continuation of the Incredible Hulk ongoing title after a 96 issue break as the retitled Tales to Astonish. This issue is the first in the retitled series that shifted focus back to being a solo Hulk title and really saw the character become the version we're most familiar with. It is also a much more affordable key book, and for Hulk fans, it's an excellent surrogate for the first 6 issues, which are out of range for most comic collectors. Now, when it comes to acquiring a copy for your collection, let's start off by saying that this book is plentiful. There's a lot of them out there. I see a good broad range of graded copies all the way up to a 9.2 on eBay and other sales platforms. This is not the book to be in a rush to get a copy of. There's too many out there to justify paying any kind of premium. I currently see a CGC 9.0 copy for as low as $699, which isn't a bad price. It's not great, but it's not bad. My target collector's price for this book would be no more than $400 for at least a CGC 7.5 graded copy. Now, you may not get this price online because you're going to pay the extra percentages that everybody puts on their books when they're selling them on eBay to make up for the fees. But you can find this book for under $400 in relatively solid grade. I suggest going for a higher grade copy due to how plentiful this book is. That's just a strategy you want to employ if a book has a massive print run. The best way to ensure that you're getting a good deal is to get the highest grade possible. So that's my top 10 list for the top 10 Incredible Hulk comics that I think you should consider adding to your comic collection. I am Carl's Collects Comics. Make sure you hit that like button and hit subscribe if you haven't already. A big shout out to our channel sponsor, Lone Star Heroes Comics and Toys. They're based in the greater Houston area with 3 convenient locations and tons of stock to choose from. You might find some of the books on this list in their back issue bins. So make sure and check them out when you get a chance. Also, stay tuned and consider joining the channel, becoming a channel member. Plenty of cool perks for that as well. Again, I'm Carl's Collects Comics. Thanks so much for tuning in this video, and I look forward to seeing you next time.